Nübüvvet, hakikat arayışında peygamber ışığı.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear moderator, respected scholars, the audience, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala ve barakatuh. It is a great pleasure to be here among you, and I thank the İslam Araştırmaları Kültür ve Sanat Vakfı for inviting me and giving opportunity to give this presentation today here. So the title of my presentation is on the role of prophethood in building of true civilization. In order to study this point, I was studying ideas of Al-Farabi, Ibn Sina, and Sayyid Nursi in comparison. Al-Farabi and Ibn Sina were the most important political figures in the Muslim world who have implicitly studied and treated the question of prophecy. And Al-Farabi made the doctrines, philosophical doctrines of Plato and Aristotle available to the Muslim world by translating them into Arabic, and also he was able to give a fresh Islamic interpretation to these doctrines, and also he elaborated them to a complete political theory. Ibn Sina was born in 980 near Bukhara after 30 years after the death of Al-Farabi. And he elaborated Al-Farabi's ideas in a more accessible form. And also Ibn Sina was very active in politics. He took part in wars, and also he was advisor and wazir to some princes. Such active participation in politics make him more aware of need of religious law in maintaining stable and just society. I divided my paper into 3 parts, and in the first part, I studied the question of necessity of societies and civilization for the existence of mankind. The second part of paper discusses the types of civilization, and the last part is about the civilizing mission of the prophets. Al-Farabi, Ibn Sina, and Sayyid Nursi, all 3 of them considered civilization and society necessity for mankind. Al-Farabi said, man is a social being by virtue of his natural endowment. He needs to establish societies and cities for 2 reasons. Firstly, in order to satisfy his more immediate and undeniable needs. Secondly, to achieve his main goal, felicity, and obtain his ultimate perfection, al-kamal. Ibn Sina considered that man needs to establish societies for the reason of mutual help and for the exchange of commodities. He said, man, by cooperating with others, can produce more of goods than what an individual singly can. And surplus, in turn, leads to material progress and the rise of civilizations. And what are the types of cities and civilizations were mentioned in these philosophical works of Al-Farabi and also in Risale Nur? Al-Farabi, in his magnum opus entitled Mabadi Ara al-Madina al-Fadila, mentioned that the main purpose of humankind is to establish al-Madina al-Fadila, which is mainly translated into English as a perfect or ideal or excellent state, where inhabitants can reach their main goal, felicity, or real happiness. In another work, Millah, Al-Farabi said that ideal state is a tool to achieve real happiness which is paradise. This ideal state is founded by the prophet ruler. It resembles a perfect and healthy body. All of those limbs cooperate to make the life perfect and preserve it in that state. This al-Madina al-Fadila for Al-Farabi is actual and normal state, but it's also for him is possible to establish states without help of the prophets. And as an example, he brought the wicked city, ignorant city, and a city which lost the path to the truth. Sayyid Nursi divided civilizations into two, which are a true civilization and a lost civilization. Building of a true civilization for Sayyid Nursi is the main aim of mankind. It is founded on the positive truth of revelation. It comprises the real happiness for all, at least for majority. But a lost civilization acts contrarily to the fundamental laws of revealed religions. Therefore, its evils have come to outweigh its good aspects. The true aim of civilization is destroyed, and wastefulness increased, and it opens ways for tyranny, encourages people to take advantage. Accordingly, for Al-Farabi and Sayyid Nursi, the position of religion and the implementation of its principles and values in political, economic, and social structures of that particular civilization was the main indicator in distinguishing true civilization from the false or the low one. For them, real civilization, which is capable to make its citizens happy, satisfied, and equal without any exceptions, originates from divine laws established by the prophets. Al-Farabi and Ibn Sina, while they were talking about the role of prophets in formation, in the building of civilizations, they paid more attention on their role as first political rulers and lawgivers. Al-Farabi mentioned that first ruler of perfect state cannot be just any man. He should be the best and the most perfect who receives revelation. He has to be able to lead people well along the right path to felicity. And also he must be able to understand the right path, to be teacher, a guide, to be a perfect lawgiver. So for that reason, for Al-Farabi, only two types of people were suitable to be first ruler, prophet or philosopher. But he gave more credit to prophet because he said, yes, it is possible to reach the truth by philosophical ways, but only few, only very small amount people can reach this truth, and it is very long way. Ibn Sina also paid attention to the significant role of prophets in the foundation of civilizations as the first rulers and lawgivers. But he mentioned that the ordinary soul cannot grasp the truth in its universality, and people need more simpler explanation. For that reason, Ibn Sina stated that only prophets are suitable to be lawgivers for their societies. Accordingly, Al-Farabi and Ibn Sina established that political and legislative established the political and legislative significance of prophecy. At the same time, they assigned to the Prophet the principal task of bringing mankind the divine law for its guidance, preservation, and salvation. Now, let me give some ideas about the approach of Sayyid Nursi towards the role of prophets in the building of civilizations. While observing the approach of Sayyid Nursi, at least 6 aspects could be noticed in his Risale an-Nur. Firstly, and this point is repeated for yesterday and today for many times, that Sayyid Nursi mentioned that the prophethood, existence of prophethood, is essential for mankind. And secondly, he emphasized on the central role of prophets in learning process. Okay. He said, man is designed to make progress through learning, and there is always his innate need for faith and guidance from God. And thirdly, Sayyid Nursi repeatedly stated about the superiority of the prophets over the philosophers in worldly as well as religious affairs. And also the next point is very important, that Sayyid Nursi, along with discussing the importance of prophets as the lawgivers and first rulers for their community, he stressed more on educational, ethical, and social functions of prophets in the formation of societies. At the same time, he mentioned that basic task of prophets was the establishment of faith and keeping mankind in the right path. While discussing the prophetic mission of Muhammad ﷺ in building a true civilization, in the 19th world, Sayyid Nursi noticed that the Prophet brought the most essential values for social stability, such as justice, mutual assistance, mercy, and wisdom. And also, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, being molded by God-given ethics, strengthened his ummah through ethical enhancement. And also he provided his followers with a strong inspiration through directing them towards the eternal happens. Subsequently, he achieved many extraordinary feats in an extremely short period, which were and technological development. And he proved it in the examples of miracles of prophets. In that sense, civilizational enhancement becomes an essential part of the faith and the noble mission of human being in this life. And the last point is that sacred laws, according to Sayyid Nursi, change according to the ages, and their ordinances change according to the capacities of people. And in conclusion, Sayyid Nursi believed that the mission of the prophets, besides establishing of the worship to one God, also includes bringing of economic, social, and political justice, social stability, ethical enhancement, as well as inspiring peoples to make material progress, technological and industrial developments, which are the fundamental requirements for building of strong civilization, but beyond the power of an ordinary man. And thank you for your attention. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
İstanbul İlim ve Kültür Vakfı